Hi friend, welcome back to the channel where we focus less on trying and more on being the best version of ourselves. In today's video, I want to talk a little bit about the law of reversibility. So I have some Neville quotes that we're going to go through, and I'm going to simplify it to the best of my ability so that it is easier for you to understand and so that you can understand why it is that I really hone in on the state of the wish fulfilled and being in your fulfillment now and being fulfilled throughout all circumstances, no matter what those circumstances may be, because no matter what, your state and your identification and the feelings that you're having now will dictate your future reality, and not so much the feeling as in the emotions that you're feeling, but the conviction of you being in the state where it is done. So let's talk a little bit about the law of reversibility, and let's see what Neville has to help us expand a bit on this topic. The first quote, I'm just gonna read like 2 paragraphs with you. You can stick with me for that long. So here we go. The subconscious mind is the universal conductor which the operator modifies with his thoughts and feelings. Visible states are either the vibratory effects of subconscious vibrations within you, or they are the vibratory causes of the corresponding vibrations within you. A disciplined man never permits them to be causes unless they awaken in him the desirable state of consciousness. With a knowledge of the law of reversibility, the disciplined man transforms his world by imagining and feeling only what is lovely and of good rapport. The beautiful idea he awakens within himself shall not fail to arouse its affinity in others. He knows the savior of the world is not a man, but the manifestation that would save. The sick man's savior is health, the hungry man's is food, the thirsty man's savior is water. He walks in the company of the savior by assuming the feeling of his wish fulfilled. By the law of reversibility, that all transformations of force are reversible, the energy or feeling awakened transforms itself into the state imagined. He never waits 4 months for the harvest. If in 4 months the harvest will awaken in him the state of joy, then inversely the joy of harvest now will awaken the harvest now. Now is the acceptable time to give beauty for ashes, joy for mourning, praise for the spirit of heaviness, that they might be called trees of righteousness, the planting of the Lord, that he might be glorified. Neville explained in the quote that the law of reversibility is that both sides of the coin can be true. The feeling can elicit the response the same way that that response or the outcome can elicit the feeling. So if you have cause A, let's say something caused you to feel negatively, some experience caused you to feel negatively. Well, feeling negatively could also cause said experience. So it works both ways. So the easiest way to think about this is that the input equals the output and vice versa. So either way you flip the coin, whether you start from point A or point B, you're gonna get the same result. It works backwards and it works forward. So if I feel my fulfillment now of the experience that I want to create, that creates the experience the same way that I think if I would have the experience that it would create that feeling. So that's why people say don't wait to feel your joy, don't wait to feel your fulfillment, don't wait until you're with your SP to feel loved, to feel valued, to feel prioritized. Feel loved, valued, prioritized now, and then the experience will come in reflecting that same story to you. And a lot of people are so worried about, how do I get into the state of the wish fulfilled? How do I know what this experience is gonna feel like if I haven't experienced it yet? And it's like, you have an experience of what emotional response that experience being manifested will elicit in you. So you wouldn't be manifesting something if you didn't know it was going to give you satisfaction, if you didn't know it was going to give you relief or joy or some positive feeling. So if you can embody that positive feeling state now, then the manifestation will come to match that experience. So that's why people say stay in a high vibrational state. That's why people say think positively. People say stay in gratitude, which are all very important things to do. But most importantly, if you can think in the state now of that thing already being done, if you can feel into that state, if you can embody being that person, what would it feel like if this thing were already done? How would I feel right now if there were no conditions, if there was no reason why I couldn't have this thing, if this thing just showed up on my lap, no conditions, I don't have to give anything, I don't have to do anything else, I don't have to be anyone else, I just get to have this. I just get to have this, and I get to keep this, and I get to be this. This gets to be my experience now, just because I said, just because it is, just because that is how my reality works. If that were true for you, how would you feel? Who would you be? How would you be thinking? Eliciting those emotions now will lead you to that experience the same way that you think having that experience will lead you to those emotions. Now, the place where people get tripped up is thinking that, okay, if the law of reversibility works both ways, then why can't I just effort my way to this experience? Why can't I just put in hard work and get this experience and then have the feeling? Two reasons, I would say. One is because your hard work and your effort is not necessary. Your action that you're putting in is not as potent as your mental action is, right? There are easier paths, easier ways for you to get your fulfillment than efforting or working hard or straining your way to your wish fulfilled, right? There's an easier path, and it is so available to you, and it is the natural path to you as long as you make yourself open and available to that experience. So that's one. But if you are in a state of non-fulfillment and you get this desire, whatever this desire is, the chances of that desire filling the space in you of non-fulfillment is very slim. It might give you an initial gratification. It might make you feel good in the short term, but on the long term, you having this specific thing is not going to constitute fulfillment for the rest of your life, or fulfillment in every area of your life, or fulfillment that has longevity, right? It's not a sustainable way to live or to manifest or to be in a state of non-fulfillment all the time. Because even if you are in a state of non-fulfillment and you manifest this thing, because we all know that regardless of your state, if you believe you're worthy of having the thing, you will have the thing. But if you have the thing and you're in an unfulfilled state, no matter how many things you accumulate, no matter how much you do, you have not gone to the root cause of why am I unfulfilled? Why do I feel like this is not enough? Why am I not in gratitude for this experience exactly the way it is? Why do I not feel fulfilled? That fulfillment comes from knowing you are source, knowing you are God, knowing you are infinitely connected, knowing that you are powerful beyond bounds, beyond limits, that it is you, that you are Christ consciousness, that you are living a blissful experience where you get to have whatever you want as long as you say you get to have it. So whether that's material gain or whether that's spiritual gain, emotional gain, whatever it is, that needs to come first, because through that, not only will you get the thing, whatever the tangible thing is you want, or whatever the experience is you want, but other experiences will come into your life to match that energy. So let's go beyond the I'm going to manifest this thing because I want this thing, and move to I'm going to embody a state of fulfillment, because if I'm fulfilled internally, then everything in my external reality is for my fulfillment. Everything is just adding to me. Everything fills my cup more and more and more. So there is no room for empty manifestations, let's call them. So if you know that embodying this state before having the thing can get you the thing, then also know that embodying the state will not only get you the thing, but will get you similar experiences. Similar things will come into your reality or reveal themselves in your reality that are in alignment with that fulfillment, because that is your choice. When you choose fulfillment in every scenario, in every situation, when that is your root vibration, when that is dominantly your state, then everything else that shows up for you is going to affirm that, is going to confirm that. The state of the wish fulfilled is just as easy as thinking, if I had this thing, how would I feel? You know how you would feel if you had that thing, otherwise you wouldn't want the thing. You don't want something you don't know what you're not looking for a jump scare, a surprise. You want the thing for a reason. You know that it's gonna elicit some sort of favorable response in you and your reality. You're gonna get some positive feedback. So give yourself that positive input, and your reality will give you the positive feedback. So I have another quote, just in case I didn't hammer this home enough. Neville says that this is the law of the highest importance, which is true. Once you understand this, you can literally flip-flop any situation, whether you're manifesting something in or manifesting something out. If you understand that having the feeling that you would have were you to have the thing can get you the thing, and also it works in the inverse, there's nothing that you can't reverse engineer. So like if you're getting negative results, if you already have negative results in your reality, that doesn't mean that you're not manifesting. That doesn't even mean that you're not a master manifester, because you are. You're manifesting perfectly. Manifestation is perfect and it always works. But the thing that you have to understand is that you've been giving your reality an input that has led to the output. So all you need to do is reverse the process. If you're seeing unfavorable results, then it's time to take inventory and stock of the thoughts that you've been thinking, of who you've been being, of the stories that you've been focusing on, and do the opposite of that. Start to feed yourself a positive story, start to give yourself positive input, start to get into a state that is in alignment with what you do want to see, and then you will see favorable results in your reality. Okay, so the next quote. It says, "This law is of the highest importance because it enables you to foresee the inverse transformation once the direct transformation is verified. If you knew how you would feel were you to realize your objective, then inversely you would know what state you could realize were you to awaken in yourself such a feeling. The injunction to pray believing you already possess what you pray for is based upon a knowledge of the law of inverse transformation. If your realized prayer produces in you the definite feeling or state of consciousness, then inversely that particular feeling or state of consciousness must produce your realized prayer. Because all transformations of force are reversible, you should always assume the feeling of your fulfilled wish. You should awaken within you the feeling that you are and have that which heretofore you desired to be and possess. This is easily done by contemplating the joy that would be yours were your objective an accomplished fact, so that you live and move and have your being in the feeling that your wish is realized." So, and he also goes on, again to quote the Bible, and says, "This law explains why faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen, and why he calleth things that are not seen as though they were, and things that were not seen become seen. Assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled and continue feeling that it is fulfilled until that which you feel objectifies itself." So, that is simply put the law of reversibility and how to get into the state of the wish fulfilled. If it was done, how would you feel? Who would you be? How would you act? How would you think? What kind of stories would you be telling? How would you interact? How would you respond to events that happen in your reality? What would you be doing? So again, take a little bit of an inventory of what's happening in your reality and what you're seeing, what your experience has been, and think to yourself, if I was the person who had already realized my desire, if the manifestation was here, if it was done, would I be thinking these thoughts? Would I be feeling this way? Would I be thinking, it's not here yet? Or, I don't like that they're acting this way. Or, bills still due. Or, I don't like how that person talked to me. Or, I don't know if this is gonna work out. Would you still be thinking those thoughts if it was done? If not, how can you flip the script? How can you change the story? If it were done, who would you be? How would you think? How would you feel? Okay? That is simply put how the law of reversibility works. I hope I hammered it in enough and explained it in enough different variations to help you understand that this is actually a lot simpler than it seems. And it's not wishful thinking, it's wish fulfilled thinking, okay? So it's not toxic positivity, or it's not like forcing yourself into a high vibrational state to think, if it was done, how would I feel? And how can I integrate more of that feeling into my life? How can I change my perspective and my outlook to be more in alignment with that viewpoint? Because that version of you living in that reality does have those thoughts, thinks those things, sees their world from that perspective. So if you are becoming that version of yourself, or if you are being that version of yourself, then that's what you need to do. You need to start taking those steps. Take steps at least in that direction, and allow yourself to be open to more opportunities, more possibilities of you being able to integrate that more naturally into your life and into the way that you are. Your wish fulfilled truly does come down to your state of being, who you tell yourself you are, what you're gonna accept as your truth, and how you react and respond to the things that you see in your world. Because if you see something and it doesn't feel like it's aligned with you, it doesn't feel like it's on your highest path, it doesn't feel like the best version of you, then you have a choice in that moment, okay? Is this me? If I had what I wanted, if it was already done, if I was already fulfilled, would I be thinking like this? Would I be doing this? Would I be feeling this? And if the answer is no, then it's okay to say, okay, I recognize this emotion, I see it for what it is, and I choose to believe that that's false. I choose to believe there's more for me. I choose to believe that there's better for me coming on its way right now, and that there is nothing that I can do to move me off of this path. There's nothing I can do to drag me back into that story, to make me again be that old person that I laid to rest. I choose to be this new version of myself. I choose to see my reality from the perspective of the new story, and I will persist in that until I see the outcome that I want to see. That is persisting until it hardens into fact. That is the law of reversibility. So it's easy. If you don't know what your wish fulfilled is, that's the first step. You have to get clear on what your desire is. What is it? And probably also, why do you want it? Because a lot of people want what they want, but then when you get to the why you want what you want, you might come to a different conclusion about what it is that you actually want, which is another story, another topic for another day. But I'm just saying, you might get some subsequent insights from asking yourself that question. What do I want and why do I want what I want? But once you get clear on that, okay, if I had it, then who would I be? That is jumping to the end. That is jumping to your state of the wish fulfilled. And through the law of reversibility, if you can move to that end, if you can see yourself in that end, if you can build that imaginal state and that imaginal picture, and you can reside there, you can saturate yourself in that, then you know what your wish fulfilled is. And you know that by staying there, by continuing to keep your focus there, then whatever is a product of that state, whatever is a product of that version of you, of that reality, must be made manifest. It must show itself to you. So that's it. That's the law of reversibility and how to assume the state of the wish fulfilled. All right, you guys, that's gonna do it for me today. I really hope you guys enjoyed and got something of value from this video. Please be sure to leave your questions, comments, concerns in the comment box below, and check out the description for my social media links, services, all that good stuff is down below. And other than that, I love you all so much. Thank you for being here, and I will see you next time. Bye.